Welcome students to today's speaking engagement. I'm very excited to be with you and speak about some of the things that are happening within the fashion industry today, especially as it relates to COVID-19, what we're doing to help better the businesses that we work with and to improve the strategies that our clients are using to navigate today's time. So yeah, thank you for introducing me. Our company, FYID NYC, we are a global creative agency. So basically what we do is specialize in marketing, branding, and events. We help our clients to display themselves in the best light by means of pop-up shops, fashion shows, different brand activations throughout New York City, also in Milan. We're actually curating an event this year in South Africa, which is going to be the Exchange Fashion Festival. And our events are really dedicated to helping emerging designers and small and local businesses. We provide a platform that is affordable and unique and allows them the opportunity to showcase themselves during New York Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week. And yeah, we're very excited to be helping the community in that way. So yeah, wanted to lead into any questions that you might have about the industry and what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. So yes.
Oh yeah. So I'm curious. What very specific tasks do you do on a daily basis? Because I know marketing is very general.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we really specialize in brand activation. So we help to create experiential events for our clients. That might be a pop-up shop. It might be a fashion show. It might be essentially a temporary store. So we really help them to create these experiences and really introduce their brands to the customers on a B2C basis.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to first start off by saying how impressive it is that within 4 years you graduated, you did find your ID, and also you're going to Harvard Business School. So my question is, how did you come up with that theme, that finding your ID? It's something I've heard over and over again in the last year or so at Brooklyn College, being involved in the campus activities. And it's something that I haven't heard before at Brooklyn College, so it's something super unique. And I was wondering how you came up with that.
Sorry, I'm missing the last part of the question.
So what was your inspiration for this ID theme? Finding your ID.
Inspiration for the company or the style of?
For the company, but also for the specific goal that you had for the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the inspiration behind what we're doing is essentially creating an opportunity for our customers to meet, for our clients to meet their customers where they are. So we found that it's very impactful for clients to be able to speak to their customers face to face. And so we're creating these experiences that really enable brands to introduce their concepts and introduce their ideas in temporary brand activation stations where they can either create a store or create an event around this model or concept, and to actually get the word out and really go back to word of mouth marketing, right? We are in a digital age, but still we found that word of mouth marketing has been one of the most effective, especially when you're starting a new company. So even if that's doing several different events in different neighborhoods or throughout the country, it's a great way to actually meet your customers where they are. And then we incorporate digital marketing in the sense that we will create a social media presence around that activation. So that is also telling their story, not only in person, but now you have a digital trail to tell the story as well. So we really incorporated multiple different forms of marketing to create this concept. We didn't create experiential marketing, but this is one of the best ways to introduce your brand today. And so we are really helping brands to create, unique concepts around these activations.
So I'm curious, what are some strategies you use to inspire people to do word of mouth marketing on their own without realizing it?
There are a lot of different strategies that you can use, but essentially, you want to start with your core neighborhood. Essentially, when you're starting a business, you can really find a lot of resources where you are. So we like to start where the client is actually based and then build out from there. So you might be inviting, your community representatives or leaders to come and introduce them to your products, but then also inviting them to also engage with their network. So you start from your base and then you build out from there. So everybody is sharing the content, everybody is inviting their different circles of networks, and so you're integrating your digital community as well as your physical community.
Got it. Amber, do you have any question? Because you also the owner of the business and you try to grow your business. And I think you share the similar path with Miss Imani Jone, also our alumna. Do you have any questions really related to your business?
Yeah, so my business is actually like a small baking company that I run with my boyfriend, and we just make custom cakes and cupcakes for people who ask us to. It's originated around the area. I live in Manhattan, but we're starting to get more growth through the school and stuff, and I was just wondering how you go about going from the close community to something that's further away, and as terms of a reach for your company or brand or products.
Yeah, so definitely you want to, like I was mentioning, you want to engage your primary circle of contacts, but then you want to amplify that with your digital community. So we are really tied into social media and using social media to promote our events. And it's not just posting on your page. You also want to get your community of followers to post your flyer, post the information about your event, their networks, and actually encourage them to reach out individually. You are sending, a lot of companies will say just post the flyer on your Instagram and that is going to get you views, right? You don't actually see that, especially with the way that social media is connected today. They actually would limit the amount of views that you receive on your post because they do want you to invest into paying for more promotion. So if you really want to see the best outcome of your social media marketing, you want to also get your brand, your community leaders to promote and to share it individually on their pages, and tying in also a mix of social media with word of mouth. Calling people is as simple as it might sound, is still very effective. A lot of what we do on a weekly basis is reach out to our community of followers. We'll reach out to them, we'll invite them to events, we'll have them post on their pages. We have community managers that literally just respond and engage with our followers on a weekly basis. And so you're really building those connections in the same way as you would before, but you're using social media to do it even more and do it faster and to reach bigger groups. So, you're still starting with your core circle of people. Those are your community, your primary community, they're going to support you the most. But then their contacts are going to, increase that visibility with, their shares as well. So you still want to have a mix of traditional and new age marketing to actually get the best results in your campaigns.
I agree with you.
Do you have any business idea, Brian? Because a quick introduction about Brian. Brian is one of the most active students in my course, and he had many brilliant ideas. So Brian, what did you agree with when, in the speech of Miss Imani?
That it's good to mix traditional and new stuff as well. I agree with it.
Have you seen any kind of combinations lately in COVID-19, or whether you yourselves are some of the marketing?
Hold on, could you speak a little louder? I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you.
So my question is, have you seen the combinations of, you know, the traditional marketing technique with the new technology. Imani Jone in real life.
I agree. No, because as times change, we have to adapt with the times.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very good, Brian. Yes. So, Amber, any further questions? Because you know, since Miss Imani Jones here, because usually, if you want to ask for a consulting, you have to pay the fee. But right now she's here, so you can ask for free. So you know, I'm trying to help you out, Amber. Give your specific case to ask what should you do in the next 2 weeks, or you know, during COVID times when people stay at home in the full quarantine, to promote your business, and you can, you know, have a big boost when everything, you know, go back to normal. Amber, use your case.
Well, yeah, I mean, for right now, it's kind of hard for me to do that personally. What I've been doing is I've been keeping in contact with all of the orders I had beforehand for like May and April, and just making sure everyone's okay. And even if they're not having a party anymore or something, that I can still make something, just like to have a birthday party with their family or whatever.
Have
But
everything
my
ready
main-
made.
I can do that because I make everything like the day before people need it, because I really believe in like it being the freshest it can be, and
That's good.
don't have many supplies, so it's hard to just set a day, make something just to post about it so that people are seeing what I'm doing. So I've been having a lot of trouble like keeping up with it. Like I usually try to post at least once every 2 weeks, because that's usually when I have orders, and now it's just like not something I can do anymore. So getting that reach has been a little bit harder because of that.
Miss Imani Jones, do you have any advice for Amber?
Yes, for sure. I feel that you're in a unique situation, honestly, because you know, you're in the culinary industry, so there's a huge need for that right now, especially with, you know, the amount of people that are being affected and don't have, you know, access to food. And so maybe you could think about some ways that you can get involved in creating care packages for some members within your community and other communities. That will also give you content to post. It will give you things to speak about, and it will also create a relationship with the members of your community and the customers that you serve, that, hey, this business is not just about business, they're also about the people. Well, they put the people first, and you know, even the smallest thing that you can do in this time is really going to be impactful, and it's going to leave a lasting impression on the customers that you have. So the goal is to create a community now, especially that everyone's at home. Even if you don't have physical orders to make, you can also do short videos. You can go live with your customers and speak about different issues or different topics within, you know, the culinary industry. Something that you're even just looking forward to for when things open back up. That's to create a constant impression in your customer's mind that you're doing something active. They can look forward to working with you when things do open back up. And really try to be creative with your live feed. You know, I've seen a lot of companies just, you know, doing things totally irrelevant to their businesses. I honestly don't recommend that. I think that you should still keep it strategic and still keep it on point with your brand, because you don't want to confuse your audience, right? But try to think about some interesting topics that it could be good to hear your advice on as the entrepreneur of your company, as the face of your company. What things you think people will want to hear you speak about, your story, even how you started. It's a great time to share that and share small details that they might not know, or that you might not have the time to even speak about once orders do start coming in. So just try to be creative in the ways you can go live and create videos during this time. Or you could also look into making some how-to videos for some of the most ordered or most requested items that you have on your menu. That could be a great time to share, just like how you came up with them, or some interesting that people should try. Just a few ideas, but there are so many that you can do with cooking that it's such a popular search trend online. You know, you should look into what people are searching and see how you can reinvent those ideas with your own style.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Because I love Amber's cupcake designs, and I keep sharing via text message to my friends and my family members in Texas, and they love it. But when I say I try to do it, they say, "Oh no, don't do the art." So if Amber, create some simple for elementary cooking 101 for Professor Pham, definitely I will join and help to share everywhere, because I can see that many women nowadays is having a hard time to really bake a nice, cute cupcake for the loved ones. So Amber, that's a very good advice for you. Yeah, $5,000 for advice. Okay. Yeah. Let's start with Johnny. Johnny, you have a question? You raise hand, Johnny. And we have Jenny and Joanna. So Johnny, please. Johnny was raising hand. Okay, then we want to move to Jenny. Jenny, you have a very beautiful voice, and you in the. Oh, Johnny is here. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good to hear you, Johnny.
Yes, my question is for Miss Imani. I was thinking in the light of COVID-19, so I'm pretty sure her companies can do the client customers interaction that she does at her company. So I was thinking, what is she currently doing to keep her company relevant, and what's the plan for the future?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So right now we are really focusing on our social media and engaging with different designers in different regions. Although some of our events did get postponed due to travel restrictions, we are still engaging with those regions by spotlighting different designers from those areas. That way we can still start to build a buzz around what we're doing, so that when we come, there is a recognition of our brand. In addition, what we're doing with designers is creating an e-commerce platform, as a lot of our designers' shops, retail locations have been in danger of closing or are closing down. So we're creating a collective e-commerce platform for them to be able to sell online, and also for those designers that can't afford to create their own website, this would be a way for them to continue to sell through our agency. So yeah, so we're working on adjusting our client base to the new normal and helping them to transfer their businesses to e-commerce now.
Jenny, please read your question.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I want to see your video, Jenny. You're so pretty. It's not just a profile picture.
Okay. So what inspired you to start your business? Was there anything you encountered during your experience at Brooklyn College that made you think, oh, I want to start a company of my own? And then with that, was there any hardships or problems you had along the way of starting your company?
For sure, those are two great questions. The reason why I started my company originally was that I had a multitude of different interests that I had, and I knew that I wasn't going to find one position that would really allow me to explore those interests and be able to have an experience that was unique to my journey, my personal journey. So, I created the creative agency because I did have a passion for marketing. I had a passion for events. I also have a passion for cultures and learning about different nationalities. And so, being able to create this global agency, I've been able to connect with creatives from all over the world. I've been able to travel to different regions. I've been able to work with designers and brands in different areas, and to utilize my language skills that I did start at Brooklyn College, and really be able to do something unique to my personal story while also helping others, right? So that was why I originally started Find Your ID. In terms of difficulties that I encountered, for sure there are many, especially being a young entrepreneur. I started my company only a year after I graduated Brooklyn College, and so I was definitely younger than a lot of my peers and also than a lot of my clients. So it was hard to originally bring on brands, especially more experienced and established brands that would want to work with a young entrepreneur. And so what I did to sort of overcome that was bring on board, a board of directors who were all very experienced, who all brought different elements that maybe I did not have the personal experience in, but I could learn from them in that way. And so they acted as advisors for our company and also helped us to bring in more clients, more established brands to work with us. So, really just expanding my network and creating a strong team of people that could fill in the gaps where, maybe my age or my expertise in that area wouldn't have sold the client in a sense. So yeah, just really trying to be as explorative in the ways where you can brand yourself and you can fill in any gaps that you may have or any things that you may not be able to do yourself as a young entrepreneur. You need to find a team that can actually bring those skills to you and bring skills to the team. So yeah, so that's my advice. My advice for you as a Brooklyn College student is to really make use of the network that you have there. Definitely network with your professors. You make use of the student clubs that you're in. A lot of the students that are there might also be I think what makes Brooklyn College unique in the sense that you have people that are coming from all walks of life and that are working currently and are professionals in the field, so they can actually, end up being some of your business partners or some of your associates later down the line. So definitely take that opportunity to really stay on campus when you can, network and get into some organizations, campus organizations, and, make the most of your experience so that when you leave, you not only have your degree, but you also have a network that you can leverage from for the future. So yeah, to answer your question, that's my advice.
I do have a question for you, Miss Imani. Do you think mentorship is important as you grow?
Mm-hmm. For sure, I think mentorship is key to growing. Honestly, especially if you have many different interests, you're not going to always learn everything from the textbooks. A lot of times, the best advice and the best knowledge that you will get will be from people that are actually doing it, people that are working, people that can tell you some of the difficulties that you will encounter, because you will encounter difficulties, and how they overcame it, and then you can learn from others, and so mentorship is definitely key, and you need to be humble in that experience, and be willing to learn and be willing to take advice from people that do have different opinions. They may be coming from different countries, or they may have a different professional background than you. So, every piece of advice from a mentor is valuable for sure.
Joanna, have a next question. Joanna, can you read your questions?
Yeah. So I think Johnny's question is kind of similar, but because you're not doing the pop-up events, are you doing like any virtual events?
Can you read louder because it's hard to hear?
Sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yes, now better.
Okay. So because you're not doing the pop-up events, are you doing any virtual events? Or is that even like an option for any or is it just
Yeah, so that's a great question. We are actually working on virtual events with our partner company. It's called Jump Into the Light now. They're actually based on Orchard Street, and they are a VR studio. And so, yeah, we are actually doing virtual events, and we're offering virtual events to our clients as a way to continue to meet digitally. It's very interesting. I would recommend to try one and try to experience one if you haven't, because it is a very unique experience, and I don't think there's anything like it, honestly. And you can actually do these events now without having a VR headset. So you can literally log on from just your computer or your phone and be able to be engaged into this VR platform. So yeah, we are working on that. That was one of the first things that came up when COVID-19, first started to take effect, and it's a great way to, bridge the gap as we're all, adjusting to this virtual setting. So yeah, I will definitely invite you all to the next event that we have, the next VR event coming up, so you can experience it as well if you're interested, and it might be something that you might want to contribute to your future businesses or your businesses one day. So
And we have one question from Anthony. Anthony, can you read the questions? No, because I'm teaching marketing and selling, so sorry in the face of the course. So you know.
I do. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful. You have a sexy voice. You have to show the world your voice, okay?
My question was, what was the most difficult task for your company prior to the pandemic? Now, how has this pandemic affected your company's ability to perform that task?
For sure, it was a transition to not be able to meet in person. We are a creative agency, so a lot of the projects that we work on are project based, where our designers will work in person at the office, or they'll meet up and actually design together. So having to adjust and start to do these Zoom meetings on a weekly basis definitely was a struggle initially. Even just adjusting to the new times periods. A lot of our associates went back to their hometowns or home countries, so we're dealing with the time zone differences as well. So just transferring everything to this to these Zoom meetings and video meetings was definitely a hurdle. But yeah, originally before COVID-19, I would say some of the difficulties that we faced, especially being an events company, there were some weeks where we did multiple events per week. And we are not a huge team, so it's definitely a lot of work and takes a lot of energy to motivate our team to continue to have the same energy day after day, especially during Fashion Week when there are a million things that are happening and a million things that you have to deal with talent, staff, production, marketing the event to the right people, ensuring that each event is packed with hundreds of people. All of those things are issues that you will deal with as an event production agency, but we find a way to overcome them, primarily through communication, making sure that the communication is effective down the line, that no information is being missed from member to member, and that we're releasing our marketing materials on time. That is the best way to ensure you're going to have an effective event. Yeah, these are all things that will happen day to day, and we deal with them as they come.
Any other question, Brian?
I have a question.
Oh, Rimsa, sorry. Brian, hold on. Rimsa, raise hand first. Yes, Rimsa, go ahead.
So being in a creative space, especially having your own company, how do you deal with having to, I guess, be creative? How do you deal with that in this kind of working from home situation?
There was an issue with the microphone.
Yes. Rimsa, can you speak a little bit louder because it's hard to hear?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now? Is it better?
Better.
Okay. So I was asking. So since you're in a creative space, how do you stay creative consistently? I find it hard to be constantly creative. And also now that you're working from home and it's difficult to, I guess, collaborate with other people, how do you handle that challenge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very interesting. Being creative, I think, means different things for different people. For sure, within our agency, a nice thing that we have is our internship session every season. And so we're always getting different interns from different areas from all over the world that are coming to work with us and are bringing their unique ideas and their fashion trends and their different outlets of creativity to our workplace. And so we really do have a very global perspective to creativity, and it's influenced by many different areas. So yeah, definitely always having unique sources, following different creators, being aware of who are the trendsetters within your region and also in different regions around the globe, because you can really see some innovative ideas in different areas that you might not have thought of, and then you can reinterpret those to become creative forms of expression for yourself. So definitely having a multitude of different creators that you tap into and that you check in on routinely, because that's inspiration does come in different ways. Also, you know, I think that you can be personally more creative when you are organized with your time, because you really do have more time to sit down and just reflect and to think about new ideas for yourself. But if you're constantly busy and constantly stressed out, you would just find that you never have a time to actually create something unique. So just as a creative, you want to organize different hours. If it's the same hour every day, or if it's 2 or 3 hours at the end of the week, you want to just find time to sit down and actually just express yourself, whether that's, you know, through music, drawing, art, digital, animation, or whatever it is. You'll find that those ideas will come to you when you have time to sit down and reflect. So definitely stay organized. I know that it's hard for creatives to stay organized, but that is definitely the key to being more creative, that you have that.
We have one question from Selena. Selena, question? Yeah, Brian, hold on. Yes, we have 1,000 questions.
My question is, does your agency offer internship? So what are they usually expected to do, and how are their responsibilities changed due to the pandemic?
You're asking about internships or job placements?
Yes, internships in your agency.
Yeah, so we do offer internships every semester. We've actually just started for the summer semester's internship program. The only real difference now is that, you know, we will be meeting more on Zoom. So we schedule Zoom calls twice a week, and then we also will meet face-to-face, not face-to-face, but one-on-one with your supervisor throughout the week as well. So it's really just the type of engagement that we have, but the internship is the same. You'll be doing it depends on what area of the company that you're working with, but primarily we have events, marketing, which is social media marketing or digital marketing, event production, and then talent management. So if you are interested in working with talent, working with designers, models, musicians, that can be interesting for you to just find out about the day-to-day in terms of managing talent and helping them to get sponsorships, helping them to pitch their brands to different magazines that they might be interested in interviewing for, helping them to secure placements for performances. And then in terms of the social media, you could be either on the creative team, which is actually creating the digital content. If you're a photographer, videographer, you like editing or animation, the creative team would be interesting for you to actually get hands-on experience in creating content. Or if it's social media management, actually managing campaigns for different brands, working within our company, working with our company, Instagram and social media platforms as well. And then event production, essentially that is everything that entails, you know, developing concepts for shows, actually working, scouting talent for those events, helping to secure brand sponsorships for those events, pitching to potential influencers that might want to join us and actually post about our events, and then actually curating the shows from design to the day of the show itinerary. So yeah, if you have interest in those areas, for sure it's interesting. You'll be able to work on international shows as well, which is a great opportunity. Yeah, there are opportunities to travel with our team. So, you know, whichever area is interesting to you, definitely feel free to shoot us an email.
Yes, I will share the contact information of Miss Imani and the company FYID NYC on Blackboard, so don't worry. I mean, I get you guys, I know what you guys gonna ask for. So yes, I get you guys. And now the question, before I let Brian start the question, I would like to talk a little bit about Selena. So Miss Imani, Selena is a very talented, I can say that marketers via social media. She was working with several restaurants to post the dishes, and I'm connected with her on Instagram, and I see her wonderful pictures. You know, she know what makes the customer see like, whoa, the water, mouthful of water. So I think I highly recommend her if she's interested in joining the team. You know, she is going to be one of the talent that we've been looking for. Yes, Brian, my new talent. Yes, go ahead. One question.
Okay, aside from this current setback, in the beginning, did you have any other setbacks like when getting started?
Other than COVID-19, yeah, some setbacks that we encountered originally were, you know, finding a great location for what we do, because we have a photo studio where we create most of our creative content. We were originally based in Harlem, New York, and we were servicing a lot of the local businesses that were in Harlem. But we did find that, you know, after about a year of being based out there, that we maybe tapped into all of the network that we could have in that city. And so we were, you know, not sure where we should go next to further expand in New York City. We ultimately decided on Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which is in the middle of Bushwick and Williamsburg. We decided on that area because it's very famous for film and for movies and film production. Actually. It's a great location, and it's also home to a lot of creatives. So, you know, our building where we're located in, they actually film Saturday Night Live. There are always model castings, actor castings, and there are great resources, even, you know, within our community there. And then we're also minutes away from Williamsburg, which is great for different sets, different locations for photo shoots, especially streetwear brands. And so, you know, I think location is key, especially when you're a new company. You want to be able to leverage everything around you. And being based in Brooklyn now, I feel that we've been able to connect with not only the Brooklyn community, but also, you know, Manhattan, being so close in vicinity. So yeah, that was one of the major, it doesn't seem like a big challenge, but that was a big challenge for us to relocate from Harlem to Brooklyn, and to make that ultimate decision. And, you know, I think that it was effective in the long term. So.
Oh, nice. So basically it revolves around every business. Location, location, location.
Yep. Exactly.
Professor, I'm on the way to Texas to teach you guys in New York, right? Brian, agree? Yeah? Instance, but Jenny, I want to reassure for my student Jenny. So, Miss Imani, are summer internship still available? Will you please reconfirm?
Yes, so they are still available. I would definitely recommend to email us as soon as you can, because we do normally start all of our interns at the same time periods. So, you know, if you are interested in joining the team, definitely feel free to reach out. You know, as soon as you're confirm your interest.
Yeah. And Rimsha, could you please read your question?
Yeah, of course. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I wanted to ask, like, how do you measure success as an entrepreneur, one, and then how do you measure success as a creative? Because those are two different things that you're doing. And I want to know, how do you know, like, what you're doing is working for you?
Yeah, for sure, they're very different. Measuring success as an entrepreneur, especially in our industry, I would say, is it can be measured by the amount of influence that you have within your city, right? So being a creative agency, we are very based on projects, and so most of the things that we create are actually visible to the public. So whether that's an event or a social campaign that we're working on, you can actually see the results immediately. Based on the numbers, right? So we measure success based on the numbers, our event attendance, the views that we receive on our campaigns, our social campaigns, and that really tells us if we're doing a good job, an effective job, based on the amount of people we're able to reach. As a creative, I'm actually a photographer. That's one of the main reasons why I started a creative agency, really to expand my interest as a photographer and be able to work with different brands. I think that I measure my success as a photographer by the amount of work that I'm producing, because I know that when I'm being the most creative, I'm always shooting, right? So I'm always shooting new campaigns or thinking about new concepts or, collaborating with different people on projects. And so as a creative, I know that if I'm not shooting, if I'm not constantly shooting, then maybe I'm not exercising my creativity as much. And that's a sign that I should do more. So it's going to be different depending on what type of creative you are, for sure. If you're a visual artist, it's definitely different. It might be the impactfulness that your pieces have on people. It might not be the number of pieces that you make, but it might be the impactfulness of it. So it really depends on the type of creative. But for me, that's how I measure my creativity.
And my last question is, you mentioned for events you monitor event attendance. Are there any other KPIs you use to measure the success of that pop-up shop or experiential experience?
I think.
Yes.
Could you please repeat your question?
So for the experiential experiences and the pop-up shops, besides event attendance, are there any other KPIs you use to measure the success of the campaign?
Yeah, for sure. The success of the event is a big one. Inevitably, that is a lot of the times what your clients are paying for, especially with brand activations. They're paying for how many people are actually coming to the event, how many people actually saw what they did. But in other terms, we also would look into the amount that was spent at the event. So if you're doing a pop-up shop, it may happen that you have less people, less attendees, but you were able to reach a different demographic of attendees that spent more at the event. So, the numbers that were actually spent at the event are huge as well, as indicators. And then social media presence. The viewership online, I would say, doesn't always correlate to more sales, but if we do have more views on our social media while we're actually having these events, a lot of the time we're at least increasing the brand awareness, and that's important as well. So we're looking at how we were able to connect with our users online during the event, as well as with our attendees that were in person. So those are three, main indicators that we use, but of course there will be more, but these are the most important for us.
Thank you, Rimsa, for all the wonderful questions. Nikki, could you please read your question?
Hi, okay, so my sister actually has a brand right now, which she started a few months back, and it's right now it's mostly jewelry bracelet based, and the whole foundation of the brand is actually to donate a percentage of the profits away. So now obviously she's doing it she's donating to UNICEF. So what is something that a brand like that could do to expand their influence if they're already expressing social awareness regarding the pandemic?
So the main products are bracelets, correct?
Handmade bracelets, really unique. Nikki, give us some description. Give us three features that make your sister products so unique. I know it's handmade or homemade. So what else?
So I feel like although they're beaded bracelets, which kind of sounds like, I guess, kind of childish, you could say, they actually have a very luxurious kind of a feel, especially the more feminine ones. But I'm wearing actually a male bracelet today, and it's beaded with macrame. So I guess you could really tell that there's a lot of creative inspiration and style awareness regarding the different types of bracelets.
And that's the second one. So this is, it's handmade. And also, which kind of materials where did your sister purchase the materials from?
Mostly online, honestly. She tries to look for beads that are high quality. Sometimes they're real stone, or they're silver or gold section pieces. and it really makes it stand out.
I see. And how did your sister? How has your sister choose design?
She just comes up with them. I don't know how she comes up with them, but I guess she tries to find beads that she thinks are beautiful, and then she comes up with designs from there. What she sees goes together when she actually receives them in the mail.
Very good. So, before Miss Imani give the advice, I would have some suggestion because I follow your online store. So it's really beautiful. The thing is that you need to emphasize that it's from the local, which means you and your sister is running the business. So maybe you would like to support a local business, especially small at the beginning. Number two, you have to emphasize that all the designs created by your sister. Number three, for the materials, I suggest that instead of going for the online suppliers, because sometimes you don't know the quality. I have some connections from the people from Middle East. They do wholesales. I can help connect with your sister and you with those people, and you can have the much better price for your business, and also maybe they're gonna help to promote your business, and you help them to promote their business. It's a win-win situation. It's a partnership. Yeah, I'm glad that you bring up the topic. I learn a lot about your business right now. Yes, I've been following their design. It's very beautiful. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. Yeah. Thank you for the connection. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Miss Imani, would you please help her with the original question?
Yeah, sure. So definitely listen to what Dr. Pham said as well. I do think partnership is probably going to be one of the best things that your company can do. I would think about how your sister can use her creativity to maybe help some of the businesses in the area that might be struggling. Because, if you really think about it, she is a creative. She has different creative strengths that she can bring and help the community that you all are involved with. And you have to really think a little bit deep. You have to dig a little bit deeper because maybe, bracelets themselves, they might not do so much to help some of the issues that are happening right now at a global level, but you can use some of the strengths that she has as an entrepreneur to help and combat some of these issues in a unique way. So that will still, bring light to your company and your sister as a businesswoman, but it also target needs of the community and what is, really needed by the people that you're trying to help and serve. So I would, maybe look into her interest, her background and skill sets, and see what she can do to partner up as a company. And that way you can introduce your brand to the community, but also directly impact some of these major areas that need help right now. So I would look at it in that way.
And I'll follow up with Miss Imani Jone's answer. I have some suggestion as well. So I know the small, used to be a small, but then they make it become millionaires. So there's a brother and a sister. They from Syria, and they created the whole company. You remember that brand, very famous one. And basically what they did is they do direct sales or personal selling when they bring their product, just like you and your sister are doing. But these siblings, they carry their product to each of the small shop around Brooklyn College. Actually, they are Brooklyn College students too, and now they're millionaires. After 3 years, they make it to CNN. So you can do it too. So they go to the small stores selling clothing or swimsuit, and they try and tell them how to match their jewelry with what they have with a swimsuit or clothing at the local store, and that's how they get the business up. And also after they get a certain amount of money to develop the business, what did they do? They try to invite celebrities like the Hadid sister or Rihanna actually to promote their products on social media. And that's how people know about that. So direct selling and personal selling is unbelievably the best method right now to approach, since you are very young and you building the brand and the name, so that you have to show your face more often to the local business. The social media, everyone can post pictures of their products on social media, but how you make your size or your product more noticed is, first you have to go to the local store because you need revenue as well, and from there you can hire the famous or the favorite social media influencers. And actually, during discussion, I remember that case. I want to send you the articles about them, and I can help connect you to them as well. They have 2 big store, 2,000 square feet in Brooklyn area only. So they start from the first years Brooklyn college student like you. So you can do it too. Yeah, I'm very confident.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say also look into some of the retail locations in your area that might be struggling to stay open after COVID-19, and perhaps partner up with them, where you can create a campaign where your sister creates a new bracelet for anyone that's willing to donate to this fund that you can actually use to raise money to help some of the local businesses there. And so you can pledge to create a new product for a donation of X amount of money, and see if your community is willing to help support those businesses in that way. And that way you can use your sister's creativity, as I was mentioning, to actually raise money for some local businesses. I think you can have more of an impact if you create smaller ways to raise money, and I think people will have a stronger connection with you as well, seeing someone try to do something themselves rather than to just rely on a big organization to create the change. You actually create the change yourself. So maybe think about it, how you can break down some of the issues that your community is facing in smaller ways, and see how you can collectively get your community to get involved as well.
I think that's a brilliant idea, Nikki.Maybe you can sell the bracelets for $5, but $1 go to Brooklyn College class of 2020, or the hungry students, one less hungry student tonight. Something like that, so people will feel the cost of helping or purchasing your product. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. Yes, we have 2 more students. We have enough time for 2 more students before we need to let Miss Imani go. So one question, Florence. Yes. So a little bit about Florence. Florence, can you read the questions for us?
Sure. I said, what advice do you have? What advice would you have to an entrepreneur that may be having issues finding their niche?
For sure, I would say, I'm not sure if you have done any internships, or if you worked in any different companies that are related to your interest. But I would say definitely invest the time into, even if you're just shadowing or volunteering within different industries that you might be interested in, you will get more insight from even a week of working there than you would, starting your own company and just launching into it with no real experience. So I would say definitely try to get as many opportunities as you can to get hands-on experience within your industry, and also exploring those different areas so that you can make a well-balanced decision about your company and which direction you want to go in. Because once you start, it's very easy to get pulled in different directions, and that can definitely take you away from making profit if you're not focused in what exactly it is that you want to do. So, the best advice is to do as much as you can before you start, so that when you start, you are making the best choices as a business person. So yeah, that's what I would advise.
And Florence, this is the question from me to you, because during the semester you told me that you would like to share your business, and I believe that you have some brilliant business idea. Would you please share your case, and maybe Miss Imani will give you some specific advice? So what type of business you thinking you're gonna open, or you already open?
Well, in the future, I would like to open a beauty bar, like a salon where women can go get their hair done, their nails done, like lashes, waxes, servicing of that nature. But I want it to be like luxury. So what advice would you have for me on opening that business in this day and age?
For sure. Well, the beauty industry is very interesting because it's such a wide market for you to get into. There are so many different types of products that you can really select and bring together to make an interesting beauty bar. My best advice for you would to be try as many of these products as you can, and from different areas. Definitely get to know your suppliers, get to know the people that you're going to be working with and ordering from. It does happen very frequently with beauty companies that you might start working with a supplier, and, you realize down the line that they don't deliver, or you have issues with getting your materials. So definitely, if you can try to and build those relationships with different suppliers before you start the beauty bar, would be great. Even if you're just trying different samples, or asking some of your friends who might have beauty companies what suppliers that they work with and they found effective. I think the key to having a luxury beauty bar is to having the best product, and you're only going to get that if you have that one connection with the supplier, to access to the best products from different people. So if you can start now, just experimenting with different types, reaching out and trying to get samples of your products, that will definitely help you for when you launch, that you have those reliable suppliers that are going to deliver, and also you have the best products. And yeah, you definitely need to have the best. So,
for Miss Imani, I would like, because I go to the nail salons very often. So from my perspective as a consumer and also the marketing professor, I realized that if you do the nail salons, if you have the nail salon or hair, beside on the cherry on the top like nice ambience, cocktail, your service must be good. If you say you do nail, people will go there to do the beautiful nails. They, of course, they love to see wonderful, beautiful staffs like yourselves to be there and show them, the look, and talk to them and sweet talk to them, and treat them nicely and give them nice cocktail and a nice ambience. But the most important thing is, if you say you do nail, you provide nail service, the product, the service that you providing have to be good quality. You know, understand what I mean? Or even the hair. So if they go there, the lady is very nice, treat you wonderful. But at the end of the day, the customer get out from the store. They want to see if their friends would be like, wow, where did you do your hair? Where did you do your nail? I want to use the same service. I want to go to see the same nail technicians, like the one doing for you. So the most important thing is find the very skillful workers if you want to open some nail salon. Of course, the look is beautiful, the look is wonderful, to attract the customer. But at the end of the day, they want to buy the actual product. And then in my class, I teach about value. Whether what you pay for and what you get, they're gonna do the perceived value, what it's worth for the money or not. So remember, many people forget that. When customers go to the stores, the actual product is the things they pay attention the most. When you say luxury beauty, I understand what you mean. Like luxury scents, they go with cocktail, beautiful staff uniform. But remember that they're not going to come back the second time if they get out from the nail salons or the hair salons and they say, oh my god, my hair is not as good as my friends when they pay much less value or less money than you charge them. So number one, and also the things you have to pay attention is, where do you want to open the luxury beauty salons? Because you don't want to open it all the way to the areas that is ghetto. Because I'm not saying ghetto people don't pay much, but what I'm going to say is how many customers willing to pay. Because you don't want to open the store with $300,000 investment and only 10 or 5 customers or even 2 customers per day, or even worse, 10 customers per month. So downtown Brooklyn can be the option. So you have to check how many competitors as well. So what you need to investigate before you open the store. But anyway, I love luxury beauty salons. So when you open one, let me know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
was gonna say also pay attention to the reviews. Reviews are key for beauty establishments, and making sure that your social media presence reflects a luxury experience. You really want to pay attention to how you're posting and what types of posts you're making, because people will search for you first and they'll weigh out their options. I'm sure a lot of the women know as well. They'll weigh out their options well before they make the decision to come to your establishment. So make sure you pay attention to the social media and, you know, really portraying yourself as this luxury brand, and make sure the reviews are reflecting that as well.
Excellent. Yes. That's a very good point, because every time I try the new beauty salons, I also look at the review. It was like, oh my God, they burned my hair. Oh, no way. You know, it's very common to go to visit those places. And then there's a way, if, you know, in the future, if those dissatisfied review happen, then I will teach you how to fix it and make, you know, and gain the reputation again when the time comes. Very good question, Florence. Yes, I have time for one last student. Joanna, can you read your question?
So I'm currently interning at a spa.
Joanna, you away from your mic.
Again, I am.
Yes.
I'm currently interning at a spa, and we're trying to expand our following, but to have them be local followers so that they can become potential customers. So do you have any advice on how we can
The question was how you can gain more local followers.
Yeah.
At the spa. Yeah, definitely something that you can implement is encouraging your current customers to go online and share their experience on their social media platforms. In a sense, you'll make your customers brand ambassadors for the spa, and they will encourage their other friends to join and follow the page. That's going to be a lot more impactful than, you know, investing more money into boosting your posts, especially if you don't have a lot of content currently. Just having your customers post their experience and maybe tag 10 friends that they would like to share this with, and encourage them with a small discount. You know, even if it's 10% off, people are coming back to the spa. That 10% will go a long way if they're, you know, repeat customers. So encouraging some type of incentive for them to actually get their core network involved and engaged online. And definitely, you know, even if you want to incorporate a station at the spa where it's a photo op station where they come in and it's a very well decorated wall or an Instagram worthy wall, that would be a great way for them to share, and people in the neighborhood, in the community will see that, and they'll be inspired to check out your profile as well. So maybe think about some photo activations that you can have in the space, encouraging a brand ambassador program amongst your current customers, and then having some sort of incentive for people to share it with their core network as well.
And one thing I realized, actually, flyer distributed to each of the house still work very well for local customers. Because, you know, if I usually receive the flyer from a local restaurant, and it's only 2 miles away from you or 5 minutes walking. I was like, it's right next to at the corner. Even I haven't eaten at the Chinese restaurant yet, that Chinese restaurant, but it's in mind. So whenever my friends or my students say, oh, I'm hungry, I say, oh, you know that there's a Chinese restaurant across the corner. So actually, it's very nice when you know, the customer actually seeing the advertisement, and they feel like they can imagine or they can map the location in their head, because that's their location. That's one thing. And then the second thing, I feel like the discount, like Miss Imani said, is very great, because any of you guys here know about the Crave Cupcake in Houston? So it's a local cupcake store, and each of the cupcake they sell for $3.50. What they did, they post on the Instagram and Facebook when they first launch, and they say that the first 400 customers or the first 100 customers will get a free cupcake if you retweet or reshare the post on our social media accounts. Of course, I did. I mean, I eat like 4 times cupcake, and then I become addicted. And then all of my friends know about the cupcake, even they're not in Houston. So that's what they do, because, you know, nobody say no to free food. And when I go there, I mean, of course I'm not going there to be so cheap to get one free cupcake and stand there. So I get like coffee and, you know, like buy a box for my brother at home, and then that's how it's worked. Yeah. So make the local people feel like, I can get the good deal because I'm at the corner. So and then make them feel like they get the habit of running to your store. So that's how you wanna get. Maybe you can do something like social media, like, oh, ladies, New York ladies, after 8 p.m. you're gonna get the 50% off for foot massage. Come on, we tired with heels. So if we walk home, they will stop at the store and say 50% discount. Why not? And it's at the corner. So habit is really important for any kind of marketing, because if the consumer feel like they already walk there, it's higher chance for the consumers to go to your store and to go to another spa at the corner, because they already have the habits, and then the most important thing is you have to build the habit for customers. Like at the spa, maybe I want to do the shampoo for my dog, so it's become their routine, and it's very hard for them to break the routine. Yes, yeah. So I think that Miss Imani had to go soon, but I had one question for her. So when you start your business, whether you apply some of the marketing techniques that you learned from Brooklyn College to at the beginning, or you just jump into the water?
For sure, I applied the marketing advice that I was taking from my professors and learning in my classes towards my business. That was, my main source of information. So, I was definitely using some of the local business strategies towards my company, but also I took a lot of my advice from the marketing classes that I took at Bocconi University as well, which was in Milan, Italy. So, it was a very different approach to marketing. I think that that Italians are still very word of mouth oriented, so they will go based on their friends' recommendations, and so I used word of mouth a lot more than maybe I would have if I was using some of the New York-based strategies, which is social media, content is king. So we were definitely incorporating both mediums into getting our initial client base, and that was reflected in our customers, because we had a mix of businesses that came from networks of friends, and also businesses that came directly from our website. I would say still to this day though, most of our clients at this point are coming through word of mouth, and that might be through an event that we produced, and the client was there and came and actually saw what we did and then came up to us afterwards. But it also is coming from recommendations from people that have worked with us in the past, and those people you'll find the easiest to persuade, especially when you're doing creative projects, people that trust what you do and have heard about you from a friend. So definitely try to incorporate both. I feel that social media, digital marketing is an amplifier. It helps them once they've already made a decision. Now they're going to your social media page and they're confirming that decision based on what they see online. But a lot of times the original decision is coming from a referral source. So definitely, if you can find ways to incorporate referrals into your marketing strategy, whether that's creating a mailing list campaign where you're reaching out to your current customers and asking them to refer a friend, or it's creating events around your brand and introducing people and having them bring friends to come and see your products, you definitely want to use a mix of those strategies in promoting your business.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Miss Imani, for joining us today. Ladies and some gentlemen, in fashion industry, I will share the contact information of Miss Imani Jones and her companies to the website if you're interested in further advice or for internship for the summers or the fall semester. And also, Nikki, I remember that I will send you some information about the jewelry company that they have been doing very well in Brooklyn College, and they are our alumni, and they start in the first year of Brooklyn College. So maybe you'll be a next millionaires. Don't forget the professor. We don't want to go to record, okay? Yes. So goodbye, everyone. And if you have any question, email me. Have a nice day, okay?